The Fantastic Four trip over their second steps. Spider-Man. James Gunn says, what does he say? Everything you've heard is made up, and Neeson's didn't like his death. Is Timmy Shall's gonna heist your heart? All of that and so much more. But first, news dump. Let's go ahead and toss this out there real quick. Mac is not here. Filling in is Nick Fryer.
It's a letdown week for everybody once again, because I'm going to get ahead of it this time, Goo. You used to shit on me whenever I come on and I have to fill in for Mac. I'm doing it this time around.
I'm here to thank you. I'm here to say thank you so much for filling in for Mac. It's a tough schedule sometimes when adults have real jobs and they're trying to podcast. So without you, I'd be doing a six-pack right now.
That's that. You're welcome, everybody. I'm doing a service for y'all, but thankfully, Goo and I don't have real jobs because we just work in media, so we can do this all the time.
So yeah, I am sorry that Fryer is here, but big news out there, and it's not as bad as it sounds. When I first read the headline, I'm like, shit, we're all gonna die. But a radioactive wasp nest was found in an old U.S. nuclear weapons site. This was in South Carolina. And it was found where they used to make nuclear bombs, but luckily, there were no wasps found at the site. Are you saying that's a bad thing?
Yes, because how far can wasps travel, Goo?
So generally, regular wasps, they'll venture roughly 100 yards from the nest. But the radiation levels at this nest were 10 times higher than the federal limits. So I ask you this, will they go 1,000 yards further?
Yeah, that's not ideal. And the question is, like, how many businesses, how many families, how close are they to this old facility? Because I feel like this is the start of an origin story. This is where we get our first real life superhero, a radioactive wasp getting stung by that, instant powers.
Or we could look at the fact, like, how many of these wasps are walking among us now?
Yeah, not ideal. This would be a really interesting Mac vs. Wild. I don't know how you take on a whole nest of radioactive wasps. You're not winning that fight.
Mac vs. Wild. Rah! I don't think there's even a possibility that Mac. So is the wasp 10 times its size? What are we picturing in our head?
Oh, I'm picturing them being a little bit bigger, kind of glowing green a little bit, like kind of phasing in and out, but extra fast. And maybe the stinger's a little bit disproportionate to their body being a little bit bigger. You're not winning that fight.
So I do fear Japanese murder hornets, but I feel like a bigger wasp, bigger hornet is going to be easier for you to swat down with the baseball bat if need be.
For sure. But like if you're dealing with a whole nest of them, then it doesn't matter because some of them are going to get a piece of you. And then it's like with the radioactive bit, are you getting powers or are you expired by one sting?
You think they can teleport?
Oh goodness! Don't do that. I mean that then it's worth risking.
As long as they can see where they're going, obviously they can teleport.
Of course.
I was walking in my backyard the other day when it was dark, and there was a big son of a bitch beetle out there, roughly the size of a golf ball. Took off my flip flop, caught it midair. Felt great.
Oh, wow. Well done, sir.
I do ask, is there any better feeling than catching a bug midair with a flip-flop?
Dude, catching it midair with a flip-flop, that's impressive. I've like squished a bug midair with a flip-flop, but that's about it. I can't say I've ever caught one. Although, have you ever caught a fly barehanded before?
Mr. Miyagi, is that you?
No, I'm just saying. You've never done... Okay, I'm not joking.
Yeah, I've caught flies. Yes, I have.
Okay. Well, have you ever... This is something my dad taught me. If you catch a fly and don't squish it, but you catch it and it's still alive, and then you shake it up and throw it towards a wall, it just goes straight into the wall.
What in the hell are you talking about?
I grew up in the sticks. I don't know.
You torture insects? If you catch a bee and you get some tweezers and you pull off the wings, it crawls around for a while.
I'm the Mac and Goo bug expert. This is how it works.
You are not the Mac and Goo bug expert. Mac isn't here. Mac is the expert. Don't you dare do that to him.
He's not here. He can't defend himself. I just did it. That's how it works. It's in the Geneva Convention. Look it up.
I will say, shout out to my lawyer. He's maybe the best person I've ever seen at killing bees that are on the table. Like, he'll just hand down, get them.
Ooh. Oh, wow. Oh,
yeah.
Well, you just took me. I didn't have to do it all this year. In my old apartment, like, we would get bees in because of the AC, and it was a hornet's nest, actually. and not Radioactive though. But I would have to use the flip flop to get that done next to the window. I fucking hated that shit.
Is that why you moved?
That's exactly why I moved. Yes.
That's why I would have moved.
Yeah, 100.
I would have left all my stuff there.
It was brutal. It was usually only one at a time, but yeah, I had to handle that shit. That was not fun. God, I forgot about that.
So, guys, heads up for the Radioactive Wasps news dump. Over at the box office this past weekend, not a good weekend for the top movie at the theaters. Fantastic Four did make $40 million, but had a steep 66% drop from its week one debut. It is at $370 worldwide right now, but after Thunderbolts, and that movie middled in its box office, pretty much made its money back. Fantastic Four will make its money back, but it's not going to be that billion-dollar movie for Marvel. It really does look like, and these movies are good. I like Fantastic Four. I like Thunderbolts. Phase 4 and Phase 5 may have pushed enough people off from going to see these movies at the theater.
Yeah, and I mean, I just think we have to take into account like how much easier it is to watch these things after the fact. Like now that I'm not doing Change My Mind anymore, I don't have to necessarily go to the theater right away. I just got to make sure I don't get things spoiled on Twitter. Stop listening to Mac and Goo before you guys get into spoilers. Just listen to your spoiler-free reviews. You can wait. It's going to show up, and then you don't have to pay any money. Like, that's a big difference maker.
Because how many times over the last couple of years did we hear, all right, if Deadpool and Wolverine, if they don't do well, that's it for Marvel. Or if Guardians of the Galaxy 3 doesn't do it, that's it for Marvel. If No Way Home, that's it. So, like, maybe it is people said, this is my last Marvel movie. No Way Home is my last one. Mm-hmm. Guardians 3 is my last one. I do question the next topic here is Spider-Man. Does Spider-Man bring the big audience back? Because I think that would. I think an Avengers movie, it wouldn't do the gangbusters numbers that Endgame and Infinity War did, but I think that would do well as well.
I think it's so in general. I think the whole conversation of like shitting on the budget and I mean how much money these things are bringing in. It's very easy to do. It's very low hanging fruit. Criticizing Marvel has now become an easy thing. That said, I do think where they hurt themselves the most is they took what they did early on in that they took characters who were not the absolute coolest Marvel characters that you had, and then you try to do it again post Endgame, where it's like we're all waiting for the X-Men. I know a lot of people are waiting for a Fantastic Four, but I still feel like it's not necessarily on that same level. And then you still like took a long ass time when it came to Spider-Man stuff. I feel like they tried to get too cute, and that's where now when you're talking about Spider-Man, is it going to bring people in? Spider-Man always will bring people in. That's not the same. I
think not only did they get too cute, they watered it down too much with too many shows and movies that were so similar. So I have been really high on Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four on looking different and feeling different, getting back to a newish feeling with Marvel again. Mm-hmm. But there was that 3-year span where it's just like, okay, there's another Marvel movie out. There's 4 in a year. There's 4 shows in a year. And that might be what just did it in.
Yeah, I think this is one of... I would... Right now, like, I don't know what the Marvel... Marvel stock or whatever, like this fictional thing. But, like, it's probably very low right now in most people's minds. Now is a good time to buy... If you could actually buy in on it, would be a good time.
You're saying buying opportunity.
Up. Yeah, 100%. Like, in a total fictional sense. Like, this would be a great time. Because I think in 5 years, it's all going to be back to normal.
Also at the box office, its first weekend out there, The Bad Guys 2 made $22.2 million, 44.5 worldwide. Number 3, big weekend for R-rated comedies. Original, I'll put that in quotes because it is a requel, reboot, sequel. The Naked Gun, 17 million domestic. Big shout out to Akiva Schaffer, huge fan. He is, of course, in The Lonely Island. I like what Liam Neeson's doing with all these public appearances right now. Also, congratulations on the love that you have found with Pamela Anderson, 28.5 worldwide. Superman, 14 million domestic, dropped 44% in its 4th week, but that is really to be expected with 3 critically acclaimed movies hitting the theater last weekend. It is now over 550 worldwide. I believe that it is either number 1 or close to number 1 all time in DC movies when it comes to box office.
Nice.
Jurassic World Rebirth, 8.7 after Week 5, it is now at 766 million domestic. People love dinosaurs. And Together, the Allison Brie Dave Franco movie, just under 7 million in its opening weekend. So let's see how well that does moving forward. Also, Lilo and Stitch in its, 10th, 12th weekend, $1 billion now worldwide.
Nice. Very nice. I love the original Lilo and Stitch. I haven't seen this one, but I'm assuming you guys saw it, right?
I did, and I believe it should be available to buy, rent right now. It should be on Disney Plus, maybe in the fall.
Okay, yeah, we'll probably wait till the fall to see that. But when it comes to Superman, like getting to 551, I was looking this up as we were kind of getting ready. Gunn had said like if we get to 500 million, we'll be good, because I think the budget ended up being like 225 million. Like he talked like actual numbers, so this was a success on their part.
Yeah, and he also said ahead of time, like, we don't have to make 700 million for this to be a success. I think even if it hangs around 600 million, like word of mouth, the way that they've set up their universe, I think he's happy.
Yeah, I think this is a strong start. And again, like when we talk about where Marvel's hurt itself from like a public perception vibe over the last two phases of the MCU, I mean, DC has just done everything it can to shoot itself in the foot on the big screen.
There's that. Spider-Man Brand New Day. We have updates right here. We talked about the little teaser that came out last Friday. We got a better look. Tom Holland really showed off that suit. Bluer, I would say, and the webs on it are popping once again, like Garfield's, like Maguire, and a little web shooter, silver. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, the web shooters were prominent. I didn't notice it till I saw your note about it, and then I was like, oh, wait, that's really silver. That's going to stand out big time throughout the course of the movie. The big thing for me that jumped out though, Goo, was the spider is different. It's more. In my mind, it was at least more Garfield-like as opposed to Maguire-like.
Right, and of course, at the end of his last movie, he had to go and build his own suit. At the end of the movie, the suit was bluer, so I think they were teasing that. And of course, no more nanotech, which is nice.
Yeah, that was on the web shooter note. Just to go back to this, are you more a fan of web shooter or having it be part of like
web shooter? Web shooter. Okay. Yeah, that's one thing I don't love about Maguire is like, oh, he's a freak.
That's the way I actually like it more.
So. Oh, you like that? Well, that's because you are a freak.
Yeah, well, sure.
Also, with that movie, Michael Mando is returning as Scorpion. He was Scorpion in Homecoming. Haven't really seen him since. That is via THR. Also via THR, Mark Ruffalo is officially returning as the Hulk in the movie. Once again, I would have liked a surprise. That would have been cool. But this is the world that we live in.
I mean, and there's even more with this. That's absolutely maddening to me. Like we find out.
Well, so yes, this was online, but as I was someone that quote tweeted it with a hell yeah, I was community noted saying this has not been confirmed by Marvel or by Sony. So there was a quote by all of the big social media Twitter accounts linking it to THR, saying the Hollywood Reporter is reporting this, but it's saying that Spider-Man, Punisher, and the Hulk will all fight one another before figuring out who the real bad guy is in Brand New Day. So that could still happen. Obviously, they don't know who Spider-Man is. If you're going to argue how is the Punisher going to stand up to these two super-powered people, I'm sure he'll shoot them in the face.
So from a conceptual standpoint, I have no issue with this. But in Punisher versus Spider-Man, that's a thing that can absolutely happen. The Hulk's where it gets a little more dodgy, but even then he can figure it out. Where my issue is okay, we know Scorpion's in it. We know these three guys are in it. We know these three guys are going to fight each other. And I understand you got community noted. I'm actually very glad that happened because
I didn't get community noted. The people that published that tweet got community noted. I was just notified.
Sure. Okay. Understood. So I apologize. But my point is that why are we the scoopers where they need to get out all these details? I get it to an extent, but you guys gotta chill a little bit. Whoever the leaks whoever they are, I'm sorry, if I'm Marvel or DC for that matter, if all these leaks start getting out, I would do something about it. I would.
This might be what's hurting Marvel too, is that there's no surprises when you go to the movies anymore.
When
that
you
was
said that,
that
totally.
was a big issue, and I don't think it's a great movie, but it would have built suspense and it would have had a nice payoff if we didn't know the Red Hulk was in Brave New World.
Yeah, 100%. Like I understand telling people things, and look, this happens in comics too, where like the actual comics, like the source material and whatnot, they definitely reveal things too much too soon at times. But the movies, they just take it to an entirely different level. It is like the whole spoiler with Ironheart. Thankfully, Marvel did a good job of kind of just ignoring all of those rumors, but it was like still out there.
I think that if it was a different show, it would have leaked out a lot quicker. It was a show that no one was watching and no one cared about.
Very fair. Very fair. That is a very fair point. That's probably why. But it's stupid that that's the case.
Also with Spider-Man, Tom Holland is, of course, the lead actor in said movie. He's also talked recently about really wanting to play James Bond. He can't talk too much about it, but as a young British actor, it is the pinnacle of that's the character that they all want to play.
Huh.
But he did say that he'll probably take some time off or more time off from acting in 2027. We'll see.
I don't know how I feel about Tom. I'm not the biggest James Bond guy in the world, so like I don't mean to come across snobbish with this, but I don't know how I feel about him being James Bond necessarily. Like Daniel Craig wasn't this big, massive, intimidating guy, but he has this air about him that there's a certain part that he hits on. I'm not saying James Bond needs to be like built like Henry Cavill, but it's just there needs to be a level of imposingness to him and maybe a level of slickness, and it's just like I don't see that with Holland in either way.
Holland was also in that animated James Bond movie where he turned James Bond into a pigeon. He's played by Will Smith.
Okay.
He's already been in a Bond movie.
Okay, got it. Well, he can be a pigeon in this movie too.
Spies in Disguise.
Okay. Spy Kids? Is that what we're talking about?
Spies in Disguise.
I have no idea what's going on.
I bet if you remade Spy Kids right now, Tom Holland could be the main little boy.
That's the problem. He's so small. Like when I said big and imposing, like that's not the right thing for James Bond. He's just so tiny that doesn't make sense to me.
New stuff. The opposite of a little tiny man is John Barenthal.
Ooh.
We saw a little clip behind the scenes of him fighting some bad guys in his Punisher special that is coming out. I don't know when it is. Soon.
Sure.
I forgot to look up the date. I think it is at the end of this year. A bearded Punisher. He takes a bat out of a fella's hands and beats him with it. This is, I think, going to rule. I think this is going to play back into the, Marvel's dead, Marvel's back.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be a Marvel's back.
Yeah, 100%. And it looks like it's going to be early next year, maybe summer next year, just doing a quick googs. But I love
a little G&T?
Yeah. Yes. But like the choreography on this, man, like it just looks so natural. That looks like a dude with no powers, legitimately like kicking somebody's ass, like and just figuring it out. Like, but that's the thing. Like Bernthal has that background, so he's able to tap into that. He's so good, man. I'm so excited for this.
There's that. Let's jump over to the DC universe. And James Gunn, when asked about the villains in the Batman 2, he said, everything you've heard is a total guess or made up.
Good man. Good for you, James Gunn. This is just so stupid. What are the ones we got rumored?
So rumored villains right now. So obviously Joker was at the end of the Batman. I feel like they're going to hold that off until the third movie anyways. And they'll tease him again in this movie with, what's his name there?
Barry
Keoghan, the Irish fella.
Yeah.
So rumored villains. And I'll tell you right now, any of these sound great. Mr. Freeze, that is my number one. That is the one that I do want. I think that a grounded Mr. Freeze, Heart of Ice, that would look spectacular and it would fit this world really well. Mm-hmm. Everyone and their mother is talking about Hush. And they had the Easter eggs to it in the first one. That might be another one that is teased until a third movie when it comes out in 25 years. Also, Court of Owls. I'm not sure if they want to get that weird here.
Mm-hmm. With Hush, the only thing I'll say to give that credence to is we're getting a Hush 2 run in the comics. And with Marvel and DC, they do a decent job of like not telling you directly what's coming on the big screen when it comes to the comics, but they definitely try and lay some groundwork.
So
there.
what you're telling me right now, you're guaranteeing that the villain is Hush.
Yeah, absolutely guaranteeing 100%. And James Gunn has approved that. So you guys don't need to source check me or anything like that. Court of Owls, though, I agree with you 100%. I would love to see them on the big screen, but that would be very strange to do that with Batman, where Pattinson's Batman is in his career, where it's just like a few years in. The whole thing with the Court of Owls is he's been Batman for so long. He knows Gotham like the back of his hand. And then he finds out there's this group that's working like in the shadows in the underground. It's just like a whole identity crisis for him. It would be stupid to reveal that in year 3 or even year 5.
Well, it was year 2 in the movie. That was like 20 years ago. So
we're having a big time jump.
I don't know what they're going to do. Two-Face. So Two-Face, I feel, would be better introduced in a television show where these side villains are being taken to court. Mm-hmm. And he is Harvey Dent at the time. He is in communication with a Bruce Wayne. Obviously, they need to be very friendly. But I think that you're better off doing that over an extended 6 to 8 episodes where you really get to dive into Harvey Dent. Because that's what's so great about The Dark Knight. And it's overshadowed by so much of the like what's in that movie. But when you get a Harvey Dent, it makes Two-Face way better.
Yeah, 100%. And I have an idea for casting too that I run.
Oh, go on.
What do you think about that? I think this guy's like said he's only going to continue the one role he's done well with, and he's kind of retired. But what about Jim Carrey as Two-Face?
It's too old, man.
It's more so just to give Tommy Lee Jones.
Okay, so you're saying that he does it out of spite?
Yes, 100%.
Because Tommy Lee Jones did not want to sanction his buffoonery.
Yes, exactly. Now it's like, hey, you know, I sanctioned buffoonery, and I did it better than you did.
Now, you can speak on this better than I can, but Two-Face, Harvey Dent, and Bruce Wayne should be similar ages, correct?
Yeah, no. In that sense, yes, you are 100% right.
There shouldn't be a 70-year-old Jim Carrey.
No, but I more mean it from just like a slightly meta kind of funny thing. But no, obviously, like if I'm legitimately trying to cast, it wouldn't pick Jim Carrey.
Objection! Somebody stop me!
See, now I want it.
Now it's just Harvey Dent who's quoting Jim Carrey movies, and it's Jim Carrey playing him. That's what makes it great.
Exactly.
That's why James Gunn is here.
He just needs all his quotes should just be other prominent Jim Carrey roles, just Dumb and Dumber.
Mm-hmm. And then obviously in the Penguin, we got a tease of Scarecrow, a mask in the background. I thought he was more Mad Hatter-ish than Scarecrow. So if you could find a way, and those are smaller villains, I don't think they would really give a full, number one villain to in a movie. But I would like to see those guys in television shows, I think, more.
Yeah, I don't think we need to go Scarecrow on the big screen again just because, Cillian Murphy
I do love Scarecrow, though.
I do. Like, I wouldn't be opposed to it, but this is where it's just like you have so much in Batman's rogues gallery. You do not need to keep bringing out the same people over and over. I get it with the Joker, but you do not need to do that every single time.
Well, what if you, and this is not a part of the Batman universe, but what if you tease a full horror Scarecrow movie with Clayface?
Oh, okay. That would be, I'd be in on that. Yeah, if you want to start leaning into the genre that those characters can kind of present you with, like the stories, yes, that's a great call.
I just did it again, folks.
Look at that.
News up. Liam Neeson has been doing his press tour, and when asked about his role as Qui-Gon Jinn in Star Wars, he said he didn't love his death scene in The Phantom Menace. He said, "I'm supposed to be this Jedi master, My character fell for that. Oh, I'm going to go for your face. Psych. I'm going to go for your stomach. Like, please, hardly a Jedi master."
Hey, I hope this is more so a choreography complaint. Not to keep bringing that up throughout all this conversation, but because from a story standpoint, while I didn't want to see Qui-Gon go, I love that character and getting to see bits of him in the comics and then the stuff with the Tales of the Jedi or Sith, like those have been fascinating. But from a story standpoint, it totally makes sense as we've learned
from a
more.
Story standpoint, you needed him to die for Anakin to then be split.
Yeah, 100%. But if you're complaining like, oh, I don't like the way the mechanics of the fight, that's fine.
Yeah, I think that's what he's saying. Yes.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, he's not saying I shouldn't have died. What he's saying is, like, the way that I died kind of sucks. Like, obviously in The Dark Knight Rises, Bane and Talia al Ghul both should die. But the way that both of them die in the movie sucks.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's a fair way to put it. I think, like, even as a kid, I was like, why did Qui-Gon go and do that? Like, with the manner in which he was, like, attacking Maul, he totally exposed himself. I've seen stuff years later about, like, his fighting style, and all that stuff's cool, but there just comes a point with certain things where it's like you are over explaining a little bit, and it's just that didn't work for Qui-Gon there. So I understand if he's coming from the same angle as us, I get it.
News up. Speaking of Star Wars, A New Hope, celebrating its 50th year in 2027, will get an official anniversary re-release in theaters, and that's 2 years away. We might not be alive by then.
This is very true, and that may mean I never see re-release in theaters. I don't think I've ever gone to one of those. Have you?
Really? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, at the end of this summer, one of my favorite movies, another one of my favorite movies, is being re-released. Both Batman and Batman Returns are returning to the theater on the 27th of August.
Okay. Will this be the first time you've ever gone to a re-release?
So I'm actually a week and a half from right now. I am going to a re-release. This is the first time I'm ever seeing it in theaters. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh,
35th anniversary.
I respect that 100%. That's awesome. Okay. Yeah. Nice. Oh, see, now you got me thinking about it a little bit.
Because I've never seen Batman in theaters either. I wasn't born when the movie came out, or I was just born.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's a fair way of looking at it, I guess. I'd never thought about doing that.
I mean, I think I'm going to look at more of these because I do like the idea of finally seeing some of my favorite movies on the big screen.
Yeah, no, there's something to be said about that. I guess I never thought about, like, I don't know. I'm not as romantic necessarily about the movie theater experience, but that's a fair call.
Well, I also get to bring my son. That's another thing too. Well, I'm bringing my son to Turtles. I still have not bought my tickets for Batman yet. I don't think I'm taking him to that one though.
That would probably be
not because like it still can't be fun, but I love the movie. I think it might be boring for a 5-year-old now. So back in 1989, if you were 5, 6, like that movie would have blew tits. But now that kids have so much more and they have so many more comic book movies, cartoons, everything else, I think 89 Batman might bore him.
That's very fair. It's just a totally different pace, totally different tempo because it's a totally different time. But yeah, I know Turtles are, obviously big for you, but big for the family too.
No, so bigger for me. My wife's not looking forward to it.
I didn't.
And she is coming. She has no choice.
Oh man.
I remember the first time I ever showed her the one from 1990. We were sitting there. She was watching it for the podcast. And midway through the movie, she looked at me and said, "You like this?" Like, yes. Yes, I do.
Yeah,
I love it, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I mean, I love it too.
Have you ever shown Lauren something and then she's like, I
was just gonna say,
besides your adult entertainment.
Jesus. Sin City actually is one where she was kind of like, because the aesthetic of it is so different.
Yeah.
And it's of a certain time. It's a very like carbon copy of the book and everything. So yeah, that one wasn't for her 100%.
Hop in the comment section below. Social media. Tell us about a movie or television show that you shared to a loved one and you disappointed them completely with. News Dip. And finally, Timotee Chalamet is in talks to star in another James Mangold movie. This one will be a heist thriller called Heist. The story will follow a former motorcycle racer haunted by a career-ending crash who is pulled back into the world of high-speed riding after his brother, who is on the run from the FBI, makes a proposition: use his racing skills to help rob banks.
That is quite the explanation of the movie.
It's pretty in depth. That's the whole movie.
Yeah, it's maybe a little bit too much, but it
is.
Chalamet has definitely earned our attention. So I'll consider it.
No, this sounds great. I'll tell you right now, this sounds like it isn't just like Oscar baity movies, so like Chalamet's doing a good job of splitting it down the middle of like, yes, he's giving you the Oscar bait Bob Dylan stuff, or he's been nominated for other things too, but he's also given you Dune, which is an awesome movie that does require him to do quite a bit of acting too.
Mm-hmm. You got to give it to the guy. Like we've over the years seen, heard from different actors, heard from more so directors about the criticisms of comic book movies, specifically superhero movies, and how it's like, the critiques. And he was like, the advice he got was don't do a Marvel
Leo
movie.
DiCaprio told him not to.
Okay, it was Leo that told him. I didn't realize that. So it's working out for him because I think he's getting a lot of respect.
I'll tell you what, this movie here, this sounds like this could be his Mission Impossible.
Oh, wow. Oh, look at that.
Off the beaten path franchise that's not tied to Mission Impossible is tied to a television show originally, but it's not like this big, well-known IP that people are just going to see because they know the name of it.
Damn, dude. Wow.
I did it again.
Mark it down, everybody.
Mark that down. Goostradamus. He's back, baby.
Shit.
News dip. Wow. All right, Fryer, where can the folks find you?
You can find us on all the same podcasting platforms as Mac and Goo. We also stream on YouTube and Instagram.
You guys are on
Live.
X Hamster too?
Yeah. Wow. Good for you guys getting that deal. They won't accept Joe. That's the problem. So we can't. We can't.
Why? He looks like a hamster.
On the nose. That's what it is.
Yeah.
We're also on Blue Sky, Twitter, and on TikTok. And I will also be. That's what we call it, Tic Tac instead of TikTok.
That's a good joke, guys.
Okay. Anyways, I will also be on Dork Like Goo this week to talk about some stuff with Rich Keefe.
Yeah, I'm actually going to take this shirt off real quick, put another one on because I'm sweating through this sumbitch right now. Hop on and talk about The Naked Gun, the one from 1988, in roughly 5 minutes. At the end of this week for Mac and Goo, we were supposed to do this at the top of the week, but Mac had a bunch of OT scheduling issues. So we'll be doing a What Have You Been Watching Lately? With a good focus. I know Mac's seen a bunch of movies lately. I do want to see a couple before our Thursday, Friday discussion. I do want to see the new Naked Gun movie. Still have not seen that yet. I am so close to finishing Megan 2.0. I'm going to finish it, guys.
Godspeed, dude. Why would you do that to yourself?
Because I have a listener that has been recommending it constantly, and I'm taking their word for it. And I'm expecting a big finale here. I also watched Happy Gilmore too, so.
I haven't done that yet. I gotta watch it. Shoot. Fine.
What do you think it is?
I think that, I'm sure it's exactly what I should expect.
It's that.
Yeah.
It's that. Yeah. It's that. All right.
Get over themselves.
So check us out at the end of the week. Thank you, Fryer. News Dump.